I'm Timberline. I'm happy to be here with you this morning, and I'm glad to share a few of the things that I experienced during this unusual and unexpected time known as COVID-19. The Lord used a specific experience that I had just around the same time as the virus arrived here, and very clearly showed me that I'm here for such a time as this. And I was to pray specifically for our family, for the Timberline Church, and our Fairmount family. This feeling of purpose kept me on track a lot during this quarantine time. It was a blessing for Paul and I to establish together a specific time of day to bring our requests to God and to focus on the current situation. And there were a number of other things that stood out to me about prayer at this time. The first 4 weeks of our quarantine at Fairmount seemed to go by quickly, and God was very gracious, and His presence and His peace were so very real, and it was a very precious time. Into about week 5, I began to experience some depression, and I began to struggle with my own attitudes, and just basically kind of became wrapped up in myself and my own needs, and I became kind of miserable, as you could guess. And then one morning there was this devotional meditation for the day where Ruth Myers was talking about the different aspects of belonging to God. And one of those aspects for this specific day was the fact that a part of belonging to God means that Jesus is our friend. We have a friend, as the Bible says, that sticks closer than a brother. And along with the verses, other verses that she pointed out in the scriptures, where Jesus talks about us being His friend, there was this verse: "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in to him and sup with him, and he with me." Now, this was a very familiar verse to me, and it stopped me short in my tracks. But I said, this verse we don't usually think of as Jesus showing Himself as a friend, but rather Jesus would come to the door of our hearts and knock on the door. It was a time when we would ask Him into our hearts, and He would forgive our sins, and we would accept His salvation for our lives. I never thought of Him as standing at the door as a friend. I really needed Jesus to come and talk to me at this time. And here I realized He was saying, I'm standing at the door and knocking, and I'd like to come in and share a meal with you. And so I knew immediately. So I stopped and invited Him to come in and talk with me. And I found that my first response was a cry of confession, my wrong attitudes, my pride, my resentment, etc. But immediately I felt clean and at peace, and then Jesus began to speak to me about the things that I was forgetting, the places where I had stepped ahead of Him, etc. The next day as I was just thanking God for His peace once again, and it's amazing how quickly that peace came as I just told Him about my wrong attitudes. I became curious about where this beautiful verse was found. I knew the verse, and always there's a reference with it. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man opens the door, hears my voice and opens the door, I will come into him, and I will sup with him, have a meal with him, and he with me. Revelation 3:20, of course, that's where it's found. And so I became curious about what part of Revelation this verse might be in. And so I checked. This verse is found in chapter 3, where John has been sharing what Jesus told him to share, what he was saying about the churches. 7 churches, I believe, and each of them had, something different that the Lord was saying that they had problems with. Laodicea was the church in which this verse was found, and they had become lukewarm, neither hot nor cold. Jesus, the Spirit said he'd like to spit them out of his mouth, throw up maybe, thinking about them. And then Jesus says, behold, I stand at the door and knock. I was blown away with that. And just realized, the heart of compassion that God has, and how we all would do well when we hear Jesus knocking on the door of our hearts. Of course, we know him. He's been a part of our lives for years. But still, he's saying, I want to come in and I want to share a meal with you and we can talk. So I just would like to encourage you to think about the times when Jesus may just want to have that door of your heart open, and you could have a chat with him, and he would like to talk to you. I find that, wrong attitudes are just so great for taking away our peace and taking away our fellowship with God in that intimate way. And I think repentance of those attitudes, it's a big deal, but it's also a simple deal of just saying it like it is, and then letting it go. And I appreciated so much what the Lord did with me, for me, on that visit when he came to have a meal with me. Blessings to each of you, and thank you.